David. I hope your camping went well. I can't imagine it didn't, unless one of you guys got eaten by a bear. I'm not even sure if you have bears there, but bet you the camping was fun. I think your weather looked like it was sort of in the 50s and a little bit rainy. It sounds like a typical spring. It would certainly be like that for us. Maybe a little bit cooler up where you're camping. Hey, this is the same section of road that I was driving the other day when you were saying, damn, it's dark. And I see those lights. I don't know why those freaking things weren't on. Or maybe they were on. Who knows? Maybe they weren't. But it does look remote, but it's really not that remote. I mean, like right over there is like, I don't know, like a mile is like tons of houses. We're going through an area right now where there's a reservoir, so there's no building. As a matter of fact, you're going to see the reservoir over here. This is probably the drinking water that we have in Mystic. So there's not a lot of building right here, but there's a big area right over there behind those trees, about a half a mile that way. Anyway, I hope the camping went well. I'd love to hear what happened, what the biggest hit was dish-wise, and then what was a big dud. What didn't go over. You telling me the spaghetti bolognese is an easy thing to make on these trips, and that's actually, I believe you told me it was relegated to the newbies of the camping trip. So I'd love to hear what the more sophisticated, lobster thermidor possibly. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. I know lobster's prepared a little differently there. Lobster di Diablo. God, don't forget about it. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that. So tonight's Saturday, it's about 4 p.m. and I'm going to be going to the Mohegan Sun Casino. Jacqueline is on this road right now, driving up from New York City, or Stamford, Connecticut, which is right outside of New York. She's driving up here. She's probably like an hour, maybe an hour and a half behind me. She's going to arrive at about 5 o'clock. Says she's ready. I'll go home. I'll get ready, and we will drive up to the casino. It'll be a zoo up there because Robin Williams is performing. And I think that place holds 10,000 something people. So it'll be packed, and then I'm going to get something to eat up there, and I don't want to sit down for some big, long, crazy meal, and so Jack and I maybe will go over to the Summer Shack restaurant. They have a Summer Shack Express, which I think I can get something kind of quick to eat, although Jill and I went there and had a beer, and I noticed everything on the whole freaking menu is deep fried, and I try not to eat fried food very often, or really pretty much at all. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to do. We could be getting ourselves a little bit of jam for dinner tonight, but I can always have beer for dinner. Beer isn't just for breakfast. I think I saw a bumper sticker that once said, beer is no longer beer is not just a breakfast food. Something like that. It was kind of funny. I'm going to be taking this exit here. We still have leaves. You see those trees over there, the ones that have the brown leaves? Those are an American oak. Oaks, and see those ones that are kind of, they drop dead and they stay on the tree. I don't understand the purpose of that. It's obviously something to do with the cycle. Maybe, what are these people doing here? Pulled over, get their pickup. Got a green barrel outside of their pickup. Probably putting the body parts in the barrel. The SOB wife just wouldn't. She just had to get the house. Well, now look what house she has. So he's probably got her in there. There's a famous case that took place in this area here about it's called the Chipper. A guy, interesting story. He was a pilot for, I don't know, captain of a plane. They're well-paid people. And he married a flight attendant, I think, a Swedish flight attendant. May have been his second marriage. It didn't pan. It just didn't. It just that the bloom came off the the blush came off the rose, or is that what it's called? It just didn't work out as well as they'd hoped. So 12 years later, he bought a chipper. That was after he had, I think, bludgeoned her to death in the bedroom. Bought a chipper, rented a chipper, tied it to the back of a rental truck or his pickup truck, took it to a road not a lot different than this, parked it at 3 a.m. in the morning in the winter on a bridge that overlooked. That guy had a convertible with the top down. He's nuts. Just went by me, and chipped his wife with the chipper into Lake Zor, and that was over on the other side of the state of Connecticut, over by the New York border. So somebody, drove by at 3 a.m. and sees a guy with a chipper, and is like, blowing shit into the lake. Didn't know it was his wife, and reported it. And so the wife goes missing. They find that he had rented the chipper, didn't really rinse it out as well as he should have. Apparently, I apologize, rinsed it out extremely well, which that even puzzled them, like who washes a chipper before you return it. And they went into Lake Zor like about a year later, and the divers just looked in there, and they found everything. They found boots and motors and just all crazy stuff. I got other guns that had been thrown in there. They didn't have any particular reason to go in this lake. And they did find one of her teeth and some bone fragments, and he was convicted and went to jail. And it was called the chipper case, and that wasn't that long ago, maybe 15 years. So, in jest with your wife, girlfriend, or something, if you just said around this parts that you were, I might be renting a chipper this weekend. There was an underlying message there. Well. Anyway, if I make this thing too long, you'll fall asleep, fall out of your chair, bump your head, maybe never come out of the coma, and I'll never ever get a reply from you as to what happened on the camping trip. And I don't want to have a life of puzzlement, wondering what were the good dishes. So I'm going to cut this off and wait to hear back from you. Thanks, David.